Hi guys, this is your Max aka Max. Welcome back to another video on the channel. So for today, we'll actually be talking about the FUT Fantasy League Team 2 players. We're actually going to be talking about what are some of the content that EA has released, as well as we're going to talk about the market. So we have the Sabitzer SBC. So of course there's a lot of hype around Sabitzer because he's a player that just signed on loan for Man United. Probably there'll be lots of hype for this SBC. My guess is we'll probably see this on content drop on Friday. Right, so probably we have something to look forward to. So the next player that we have is actually Eden Hazard. I don't think he has any special cards this FIFA. The only one he has was actually under the swaps program that not many people has gotten. So this is actually a very good throwback to the olden days where actually Hazard was a really good player in real life as well as a really good player in FIFA as well. Another player that we'll see is actually Diego Jota. I actually used his thoughts last season and he was actually really good. So I expect this to be really good as well. Anyway, GG's to Liverpool. I thought United played well, but after Liverpool scored the goal, Man United just crumbled. So another card that we'll be getting is actually Upamecano. Like I mentioned previously, right, we actually have lots of Bayern special cards that is actually too expensive to link to the SBC money that we had a while back. So I hope Upamecano is actually slightly more affordable than your Goretzka and your Kimmich. But my guess is he probably would be expensive, but a useful link nonetheless. For those people who are actually rocking a Prem team and you have players like Cancelo, Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, Laporte, Haaland, Ruben Dias is actually a welcome addition. So, we just have to see how he actually plays in game. So another card we'll be getting is actually Morientes. We actually had the base version of Morientes, the Heroes version, as a SBC earlier in the game cycle. And he was actually pretty good. So I would suppose that this version will probably play as well, if not better than the previous version. We also have JJ. So JJ is actually always a very good player to use in FIFA because he has 5-star skill moves. So I'm actually looking forward to this version as well, right? We also have Rafa Marquez. We actually already have 2 versions of him. This is the 3rd version. I think his World Cup version was actually pretty decent. So this version, if it's really 81 pace, might be a decent shot as well. We also have Pepin. I think in the previous promo, right, Pepin was actually one of the most commonly put heroes, and his price actually went down all the way to about 70 to 80k. He's actually a pretty usable player in game. So yeah, watch out for him. So one of the best, I would say, strikers in the game, right, Dean Atale, that was actually released quite a few months back, right, the base version is actually one of the top strikers in game, I would say. So for this version, I would say that he's probably gonna be really top tier as well in game. I can't actually wait to use this version, but he's probably gonna be hella expensive though. Probably like 2 mil, my guess, 1 to 2 mil. So as a Man United fan, to have that link with Sonny, right, is actually Park Ji-sung. So they have actually position changed him to center mid. His previous version was actually a winger. So I think Park is actually really suitable to play as a central midfielder considering he has the high work rate as well. For United fans, this is actually a very welcome addition. We actually had Dirk Kuyt as well, right, cam position. I think his previous version was a solid card as well. So, if he does get these stats, he probably would be really great in game. Probably as a cam or a central midfielder. Of course, we have one of the most ratty cards in the game, right, Alderweireld. I think even up till now, right, people have been still using his World Cup version and he's actually quite good in game. So I think for this one, right, he probably would be even better. But I would say that his World Cup hero, right, even though it's good, right, it's actually a little bit outdated, especially if you want to play him as a striker, right. If I had the World Cup version, I probably would play him as a winger. So, this Mario Gomez SBC was actually leaked quite some time back. We have yet to see it being released in FIFA yet. So, the rumor is that you'll actually be able to choose between the Stuttgart version or the Fiorentina version. I guess it all depends on your squad. You know, do you run a Italian league team or do you run a Bundesliga team? When it does releases, right, I'll actually be doing a review on the Gomez, and you know, you guys can check it out. So this is actually the full list of FUT fantasy players that will be coming. We have already gone through some. Shout out to FUT Scoreboard. So some of the ones that we haven't gone through are players like Telefico, Benacia, Toprak, Lima, Gomez, Rukil Puk, the Barcelona central midfielder. You know, we have Emre Can, we have Rashika, Jon Foyt, Demarcos, Sabozi, Wimmer, and Mitoma. For me, right, this team looks kind of mid. Like these versions, right? I mean, these cards looks kind of mid. There isn't anybody, right, outside of, I would say, right, Benacia will probably be good. Benacia, Jota, Hazard, and Upamecano, and maybe Ruben Diaz. These 5 cards will probably be really good in game. The rest will probably just be mid cards. FUT Scoreboard also leaked the clubs that the heroes will be representing. So for Di Natale, we have Udinese. Mario Gomez, we have Stuttgart. JJ, we have Fenerbahce. Dirk Kuyt, we have Feyenoord. Rafa Marquez, we have the New York Red Bulls from the MLS. Papin will represent Marseille. Park Ji-sung will represent Man United. Ella Warren will represent Al Shabab. Mario Gomez will represent Fiorentina. And lastly, Morantes will be representing Real Madrid. I actually want to talk about the team of the week that was released. So I would have to say, right, overall it's kind of a mid team of the week. The player that you really want, right, would only be Salah. 4-star skill moves with a 3-star weak foot, high medium work rate. So if you look at his overall stats, right, he's actually, I would say he's actually end game. So the only thing that is not so ideal is his 3-star weak foot. But he does have the finesse shot and the outside foot shot as well. Let's take a look at Griezmann. 4-star, 3-star, medium work rates. If you look at his overall stats again, it's really good. So I only have 2 issues with this card. The medium attacking work rate and the 3-star weak foot. But if you do play him as a cam, which Griezmann is actually more than competent at, you actually can overcome that attacking work rate, the medium attacking work rate, by actually altering the instructions in the tactics section. So he also has the finesse shot and outside the foot shot. We go on to Reece Nelson, 4-star, 3-star, high medium. Again, good stats, but he lacks in the key stats, right? 68 composure and 73 reaction is just not good enough. I would say that, you know, with this kind of stats, right, 68 composure and 73 reactions, right, it actually won't even serve you well, even if this Reece Nelson was released at the start of the game. Because, I mean, you would definitely feel that lack of composure when he goes through one-on-one with the keeper. And the 73 reactions affects his dribbling as well. So this is a very mid card. You know, if you take a look at the rest of the team, right, they're actually just fodder. So you only really want Salah and Griezmann from this team. Yeah, the rest is pretty mid. I would say that the previous team of the week is probably better. We actually have more higher rated in the previous team of the week than the current one. So it's kind of a L team of the week for me. So other things that I would like to talk about is actually some of the SBCs, right, that EA has actually released in the past 2 days, right, So if you actually take a look, we have the Icon SBC that EA actually released just yesterday, right. We actually have the Zambrotta SBC. So he comes up to about 580k based on the current market price. I've actually done a review on him. If you guys want to, you guys can check it out. It'll be on the top right hand corner of this video. Cotton Haji as well, right? 4-star, 5-star. 5-star weak foot is really good. Medium low work rates. So I've actually also done a review on him. Once the video is done, you guys can check out the video as well about as to whether he's actually worth it to do. I have to say he's really cheap though at 160k. So I actually want to talk about the player of the month, right? We have a couple of them right now. So for the Bundesliga, right, it's actually a 6-way between Brandt, Davies, Schlotterbeck, Guerrero, Lee Jae-sung, and Bernard Sosa. For especially those people who actually have players like Jude Bellingham in their team and you guys need the link as well as the Mittens SBC, this might be something to look out for. So for the French Player of the Month, right, we actually have the 3 contenders, Mbappe, Todibo, and Balogun. So, no, I mean, in terms of stats, probably Mbappe just edges it, but I just have a gut feeling that maybe Todibo would win this, right? So just watch out for the Player of the Month as well. So for the next 2, we actually have confirmed winners. For the Italian League, we actually have a Carva. It's actually scheduled to come as a SBC. I'm not sure how much the price is. We probably will see him soon, within the next few days, I reckon. So for the Prem, right, Rashford is actually confirmed as the winner. So traditionally, right, for Premier League Player of the Month SBC, right, they usually come on the 2nd Friday of the month. So I would actually expect to see Rashford probably slightly before content drop tomorrow. And this is actually his 2nd Player of the Month in a row. He actually won the Player of the Month in the previous month. I just want to point out, right, if you guys do have this Rashford, the one that is from the World Cup stories, he's currently at about 700k, 710k. If you guys have him, I will advise you to sell him because his previous Player of the Month was actually a 87. Right, this version, the Player of the Month for this upcoming month, might be really close to his stats as compared to the World Cup stories. So you might be better served to sell him because I think probably his price is gonna come plummeting down. The next thing I actually want to talk about is we have leaked packs as well. So we have the Pivot Foundations pack, 25 rare gold players with 1 guaranteed to be 87 or higher. You get a Prime Icon Loan player pick for 7 games, right? You can choose between 3. We have the boosted halftime rare players pack. Basically, you have a added chance of, you have higher chances of packing the special cards. They haven't revealed the pack odds here, but we will be able to see them soon. We also have the ultimate halftime rare players pack. It's also a special version of the halftime rare players pack with a boosted chance of receiving players from the current promo. So both packs are actually they actually contain 16 players. These packs, right, would definitely be in the store, so keep a watch out for them. I also think that EA is actually really going all out for the bag, you know, as usual, because I don't think we have ever seen this type of packs before, whereby they tell you that they're actually giving you a higher chance of packing the current promo cards. So EA definitely going for the bag here. So based on the league players that we actually saw, right, I actually don't think that the Team 2 players are as good as the players in Team 1. So for me, right, what should you do if you guys actually have all this FUT fantasy? You know, should you sell them? Should you invest? The safe play, right, it's always to sell, and then after the new cards are actually released, right, then you can access and see whether the new cards are good enough. So, because even though, right, I've actually mentioned that the new cards, right, actually look kind of mid. If EA actually really juiced up their stats, you know, make changes to their weak foot and skill moves, right, they might actually become really desirable. But based on this list that I've just seen, I don't think they would be that good, especially if EA don't actually upgrade them that much. So safe play, sell them, sell the cards that you have, and then look to invest after the Team 2 has already been released, right, about an hour or 2. If you are a little bit more high risk, you know, I actually like a few of these cards. Players like Fernando, I think it's really good because Sevilla is a top team in the La Liga, right? So him at 47k looks pretty good. And as for the others, you know, I think Fabian would probably rise as well. You know, the PSG links are actually really important in this game at 310k. He was actually about 370k earlier yesterday, but you know, PSG lost, so there was some hype gone. Those two are the ones that I actually really like. Continuing on, right, I think that this Heroes Team 1 is actually way better than Team 2. Right, we have one of the best attackers in game in Ginola. Pele is top tier as well. I've done a review on him also if you guys want to check it out. We have a Cordoba, top few center backs in the game. Again, I've done a review on him. You guys can check it out. Capavia, one of the best left back, in my opinion, the best left back in the game as well as Harry Kewell. For the other heroes team, right, we actually only have, I think, Di Natale, Okocha, and Alawaran that's actually the top tier. But for this team, we actually have 5 players. So there might be a chance that what will happen is if the cards in Team 2 are actually very mid, no, they're not that desirable, right? The cards from Team 1 will actually shoot up in price. In fact, the whole market will shoot up in price. So this is a decision you guys would have to take on your own. Another piece of advice that I have is if you guys have packs you guys might want to save for Team 2, right? I would say just rip it right now. Just try to get the Team 1 players because the Team 1 players look way better. Next thing I actually want to talk about is actually this 84x5 that was released yesterday. So the requirements, right, is actually an 84 rated squad. You need 285 minimum in the squad as well as 1 team of the week. So currently, right, you can actually do it 3 times. So it's out for 2 days. So in total, you can do it 6 times, right? You can complete the SBC 6 times. So if you take a look at the cost price of the SBC, right, it comes up to about 57k, close to 60k. So what this did was it actually made fodder go up. So let's take a look at fodder. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? So what happened was 83s, because you can put 85s, right? 2 85s and the rest you'll fill it out with 83s. 83s went from 1.9 all the way up to, they might put here as 2.5, but yesterday I was actually selling 83s at 2.8k or 2.9k at its peak. So that's like almost a 1k jump for 83s. So for 85s, whereby you are required to have 2 in the SBC, they actually went from 13.5 all the way up to, I was selling 85s at about 16k to 16.5k. So that's like a 3k jump. So expect to see 85s, right, remain high when the SBC refreshes later. So right, we actually managed to sell all the fodder, right? We actually bought 85s at about 12k or so. So after selling it for 15k, right, our profit margin is about 2k, right? 2k a card roughly. So for 86s, right, we actually bought them at about, I think about 16k or so. 1.5k, I think, to 2k. So we have sold most of it. You know, the range for the 85s, right, is between 15k to 15.5k. Yeah, so we make bank, and I actually have more on the transfer list that I haven't sold. So I know I promised make more trading videos this week, right? But I have actually been really swamped with all the player reviews I've been doing in the past week. So you guys can check out the channel. I've done about 2 player reviews a day on average for the past 1 week. Definitely for the upcoming week, I'll be doing more trading method videos on how to make coins. So if you guys want to make coins, right, like how I did with all the investments you guys just saw, you know, all the order that I sold, you know, do subscribe to the channel, and you know, I'll be doing more trading videos for this upcoming week. We'll actually also be live tomorrow at content drop at 5:30 GMT or 1:30 AM Singapore time. Basically, it's just 30 minutes before content drop. And we'll be going through the FUT Fantasy Team 2 players. We'll be doing live trading. We'll be opening packs, trying out the new Team 2 players, basically doing everything. So if you guys want to, you know, do join us on Twitch, right? I'll be happy to see you there. I'll leave the link down below. And yeah, that's all from me, guys. And I hope to see you guys on Twitch. Alright? Take care, guys.